And welcome everyone, thank you very much for joining me today on my latest episode. We've got three main stories and one is just broken, which is absolutely fantastic, regarding Liverpool's new complex. Obviously, if you haven't heard, the last couple of months they've been trying to gain planning permission on the Kirby site, obviously Liverpool's academy currently, but they're going to merge the academy with the first team, and there's been some fantastic news just broken just before I was about to come on, so I've got that included. Obviously, Peter Moore's got an interview, cracking interview. So I've got that. Jurgen Klopp, he's talked about Liverpool boss admits it doesn't make sense to start Philippe Coutinho at Manchester City. So he's talked about that, and I'll bring the best bits of obviously the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and what he's had to say about Liverpool Football Club, and obviously Jurgen Klopp and why he wanted to play for Liverpool Football Club. Fantastic. As always, I'll leave all the stories in the description, so after the show, you can check them out in the full extent. Definitely highly recommend that. But yeah, nice one everyone. And if you like this video, smash that like button. It'd be very much appreciated, everyone. Thank you very much. Hopefully having a cracking day. Whatever you've been up to, night, day, whatever it is in the world. Hopefully you're all having a quality weekend. Yes, I certainly am, and I cannot wait for the Manchester City game that's coming up very soon on Saturday. So let me know where you'll be watching that. But right, let's get cracking straight into the first story really. Liverpool's new 50 million training complex granted planning permission. This is just broken, obviously on a Liverpool Echo. Definitely check it out. It's Liverpool's plans for the new 50 million joint training complex for its first team and academy were granted outline planning permission tonight. Knowsley Council's planning commission granted online approval for the construction of the new combined training centre, redevelopment of the current academy and converting the front pitch at Kirby into an indoor converted pitch. Peter Moore, obviously Liverpool's chief executive officer, was quoted tonight. Today's approval by KMBC, obviously Knowsley, if you're local, you know that by then, is another step on the journey in achieving our vision to bring our first team players and young players together on one site. We have received positive feedback from our local residents and business on our proposals during this public consultation earlier this year, and we thank them for their continued support. As part of the planning process, we will now submit more details on the scheme to KMC before we have certainty that we need to progress with the redevelopment of the site. That is absolutely fantastic news. Let me know your thoughts on that. For me, especially with having Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool, and so we can actually see the young players that are coming up through the ranks. He's going to literally look across the training complex, and if he sees a young lad progressing, he can walk from one pitch to the next. And obviously Jurgen Klopp, the type of manager he does, that's very well known in Dortmund and in German football. The academy and the main first team, they all play together and they train in one complex. And for Liverpool moving forward, as an overall gain and getting the kids through our academy, it's a very huge push in the right direction for Liverpool Football Club. And I'm made up that this 50 million, this can invest in the future. And for what FSG and obviously the Peter Moore and everything connected to the club, it's absolutely fantastic that they're investing in the young facility, investing on the stadium as well. Yeah, we want to bring players in, but they're investing in the youth and the future of Liverpool Football Club. Obviously on the academy, we had the old two clowns before them that didn't do absolutely anything. They've developed obviously the stadium, and they're developing, obviously bringing the new 50 million, they're spending £50 million on a new sport and complex for the academy, which is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, definitely check the full extent of that interview out. I'm buzzing, I'm made up to actually see the developments in the works, and they're very much getting approved in the right direction. But yeah, nice one. I can't wait for this, but let me know your thoughts on that. So yeah, literally going to the next story. Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp admits it doesn't make sense to start Coutinho at Manchester City. Jurgen Klopp admitted Philippe Coutinho isn't ready to start at Manchester City on Saturday, and dismissed suggestions Liverpool playmaker is frightened of a back injury that will limit his playing ability. He goes on to say, Jurgen, yes, he went to the national team and trained normally, but now he we have to prepare for a normal session. So we have 7 games before the next international break. And we saw them training this morning and thought, okay, maybe we should use him immediately because he was really good. But that doesn't make sense. The Reds boss is obviously quoted, goes on to say, we have now to continue with the pre-season. Not too long, but in a few sessions, we have given ourselves the time because in the next month, we have 7 games. That is a long time. Obviously, they're going to be coming thick and fast next month. We always have the same decision to make. Does he need training or can he play? That's all that stuff. Yes, Klopp. When you read it, you can just hear him talk. Yes, we will now do a little bit more than he will obviously do a little bit more than the boys, but he has showed up in a very good mood and looks very positive. There's a picture of him smiling, obviously in training. Phil looks like he's in a fantastic mood, and there's no... For me, as I mentioned, if you didn't check out my other previous episode, I think it's his agent trying to ruffle his feathers, and all this nonsense has been created by someone out of his family or back room. Yeah, he might have wanted to move, but he's coming to training with a smile on his face. It looks like he's wanting to be there. He's not kicking off. He's not refusing to train, but it's looking positive. And literally goes on to conclude, Jurgen, Roberto played in the second game a little bit longer, but both are fit. Obviously, Bobby played in obviously Brazil as well. So that's cool. They're healthy, but now we have to see. Talks about Phil's back as well. Obviously, the back talk, obviously, with Philippe Coutinho. Klopp goes on to say, I know what people think, but Phil had a back problem a few weeks ago and couldn't train. So that means he misses around about 3 weeks. So basically, he goes on to say, check it out after the interview as well. He goes on to say, he laughs off the suggestion of, I think because a lot of people, even me included, were all like, yeah, as if Phil's got a back injury. But Phil could have actually had a back injury and he wasn't able to play. But Jurgen, later on in the interview, check it out after, he talks about the suggestion of people accusing him of lying as being absolutely laughable. And he honestly did say, hand on heart, him saying, Phil was injured. It wasn't a matter of Phil going, nah, I'm not playing. He was actually injured. So that is positive from Jurgen Klopp. He will be on the bench, obviously, against the City. And if he comes on and scores an absolute screamer, it will help his reputation. But for me, we've not actually heard him come out this season, Phil Coutinho. And having him in our squad, pushing us in the league and the Champions League campaign, obviously he's been included. It's absolutely fantastic. And going forward, Philippe Coutinho in our squad is going to be even more... It's going to be fantastic for us going forward, challenging for league titles and challenging for European success. So yeah, definitely I'll leave the rest of that interview with quality read. Going into the last story, obviously Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Jurgen Klopp can take me to the next level at Liverpool, and everyone was going, shots fired! And Arsene Wenger, if you haven't seen it, it's obviously online and obviously LFC.com. So definitely check that out if you haven't seen the full extent of the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He looks like he's in a very good mood, and I cannot wait to see him. Hopefully he gets a run out against City. I'd love him to score a goal, as I always would, but I really can't wait to see him in a red shirt, put it on for the first time. So yeah, the Ox talks about basically, he goes on to say, even when he was at Dortmund, obviously talking about Jurgen, you could see these things from the outset. When you look at managers and the way they work, he obviously speaking to LFC TV, he's definitely a manager that is very animated on the side, and you sort of feel you get to know him without even knowing him when you listen to him in his press conferences. And then the insights I've had from the boys, obviously he's been speaking to obviously a lot of the England lads, obviously when he's been away from international duty. So he's just basically said he's had a very good insight from the lads, like obviously Kleiny, Lallana, Studge, and a couple of Hendo as well. So he's very good lads, and he goes on to say in the next paragraph, what he's achieved, you respect that straight away. How much he knows about the game, and then all the extra attributes, his relationship with the players, and how he pushes you, encourages you, and what he demands from you. That's like a bonus. That's what makes him special in my eyes. He really sounds like he really did want to play for Jurgen Klopp. As me and you have, and every single one of you have talked, Liverpool fans, we'd love to play for Jurgen Klopp. It done with me as fans. He's a character that, just Alex there, if Alex is thinking that, there's a lot of players around the European game taking notice, and he gives the players confidence, as Alex has just said. Then, from what he said he's been speaking to Hendo and Kleiny, Jurgen is he's a man manager. He's one of the best man managers in the European game. And if you've got a manager like that, and that gives you confidence, you're more willing to run through brick walls. And Jurgen is a manager that is he's a people person. And obviously, Alex goes on to conclude in his last paragraphs, one of the reasons why I felt like he was the man I'd want to come and play for, because I feel like he could really push me and hopefully get the best out of me and take me to the next level. That's for sure. Shots fired at Wenger. So obviously the final concluding paragraph on this show, even as a neutral watching him last season, you could see he's really interesting character and someone that seems very inspiring for the people that aren't even involved in the club. Watching him, his passion and how much he cares about the game and his players is very much why I wanted to play for this football club. That is fantastic. And the rest of that interview is in the description as well. Definitely click on the link, follow the description down below. But how refreshing is that to see Alex coming out? He sounds like he wants to play for Jurgen Klopp and for our football club. He goes on later on to say he was a Liverpool fan growing up as a kid. He knows the history of this football club, which is absolutely fantastic. And I cannot wait. Let me know your thoughts on what he's had to say about Jurgen Klopp. It's very interesting. As I said before, if Alex is thinking that, a lot of other players around Europe and in the Premier League that want to come to Liverpool just because of Jurgen Klopp, not just because of the pull of Liverpool Football Club as Liverpool as itself, but it helps having a character. And Jurgen Klopp, as he is as a man and as a person, is absolutely fantastic. Players want to play for him, and that's going to be a positive. Not this year, but moving forward as a football club, that's even more positive. So yeah, literally, and going on to obviously the last story. If you didn't see it, the breaking news, obviously, the Premier League, the transfer window has completely changed as of next year. The January transfer window this season has not been affected. It's going to be the same as usual. But coming into impact next season, the transfer window will shut before the first game of the season, which for me, and probably you, I want to know your thoughts on it. That's fantastic. All the Premier League clubs voted, obviously, in favour of it. And for me, that as soon as we start the Premier League next season, all the clubs around the Premier League, fans and all that are not going to be worried. Like, we went into last couple of weeks, we've been worrying when it's like, you got players, are they moving, are they not? But it won't affect players going out. Obviously, the transfer windows in Spain and Italy will still be open. But Premier League dealings, signing from Premier League to Premier League, there's going to be no business. But obviously, players can leave, so that is absolutely fantastic. And I'm made up. It's going to stop a lot of all these nonsense rumours. And if players are signing players from different clubs in the Premier League, you're going to be like, no. As soon as our first game kicks off in the Premier League, you're going to be like, yeah, we know the business should be done and dead there. So that's fantastic. Let me know your thoughts on that. Are you made up? I'm guessing you all will be. But for me, I'm buzzing because come next season, the first game of the season, no transfer talk. And we can focus on the footy, which is the most important thing, and the red men. So yeah, as always, everyone, if you like this episode, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could leave a like. It goes a long way. And thank you if you've watched up until this last seconds, really, to the episode. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully you're having a cracking day. Enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend, whatever you're doing. And hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Put your notifications tab on so you don't miss a thing on Liverpool, everything Liverpool related. Bring on City, bring on Seville, and thank you as always, everyone. I'll be speaking to you tomorrow. Up to dead men, and you'll never walk alone. Ta-da.